Next. Oh, now we've moved beyond those opening lines, and now we get into the bulk of the book, which is written by this Bokaden guy. And here we go. It does not matter whether you are firing at an enemy near you or an opponent some distance away. You should be adept at selecting the best arrowhead. And then the amplification on that says, the lesson here is that you need a strong arrow for an adversary at close range, but a lighter one for hitting an opponent far away. And I guess when I read this, the point that I got out of it was you need to be able to select your tools properly.
Right. That's good.
And as a leader, you need to be able to select. Think of all the tools we've talked about on this podcast that you need to use as a leader.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be a little bit harsher with a guy. Sometimes you got to flank a guy. Sometimes you got to be direct. There's all these different tools that you need to use as a leader. Mm-hmm. You got to be adept at selecting the right tools. And I gave a metaphor on here one time about how you're like a woodworker, right? Mm-hmm. This is actually what's interesting about the woodworker metaphor is, as a leader, you have to be like a woodworker, which means you need to learn all these different types of tools, but you need to learn how to use these different tools on different types of wood. And each one of these types of wood, each one of these individual pieces of wood is a little bit different. They got a little knot, they get a grain, they get things. So you can't just learn a mechanical skill. Yeah. You have to learn to be a true craftsman with the tools, and then you have to learn about what the different types of people they are, and then you have to see that even a different type, like this person might have a big ego, but they got this other thing. They get a little knot, they get a little different grain.
Yeah. Kind of like a barber. You know, the barber cuts your hair first, he's using the clippers.
Well, yeah.
And he busts out the thing, and it depends, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Like a barber, or I guess we could say any type of craftsman that has to work with varying medium.
Sure. Yeah, pretty much anybody, really. Everybody. You ever watch The Social Network? Bro, watch that show. It sounds weird. It's when you first hear the idea
it's about Facebook,
about Facebook and Zuckerberg. When you hear about that, you're like, oh, who cares? But bro, that's a good movie, really good movie. Anyway,
it's a movie. I thought it was. Is it a show or a movie?
A movie.
Okay.
The Social Network.
Yeah. Is he awkward?
Yeah. It's really good.
Do they overdo his awkwardness? You think?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't really follow Zuckerberg to know his awkwardness or whatever. But
have you ever heard people call him Zucks?
Yeah, it sucks.
Like we're tight.
Gary Vee calls him Zucks.
We tight.
Anyway, yeah, right? Sure, Zucks, of course. But he's doing something. He's breaking into the college computer or mainframe, whatever he's breaking into. And he's kind of narrating what he's doing. He's like, I had to do this, so I had to break out this, you know, and he's doing the same thing. That was a really revealing part in regards to this concept. Wait, he's doing the same thing? What? Oh, he's got to make because he has to get in here, so he's trying to solve these. It's all code, and, you know, so he's trying to solve this problem, but then this problem comes up, and then this one has these specific problems, so he has to solve them, but he can't just do it with the current tools. He has to bust out this other tool. Did he have the
vision when he was creating it of what it was going to be?
Well,
did he feel that confident about it? Did he see the whole vision, or did he like wake up one day and say, "Dang, this thing is going to be really"?
No. It was a slow evolution into it, because at first it was like he started with this thing called Face Smash, which was basically just comparing the girls on campus, like who's hotter, and then you click, okay, she's hotter, and then you go to the next one. She's hotter, you know. Dang, and then
that's cold-blooded.
Yeah, and that was a big part of it. It was like that's what people would hate him and stuff like that. And then it just slowly, it was a social network. These guys, like,
isn't that weird?
Rowers.
That's like what a teenager would do, right?
Oh yeah, big time. And that's what they were trying to emphasize too. More like he just wanted to be like liked by people, or he
made that up and thought that was going to help him be liked.
He had a weird approach. I don't know. This is just what the movie said. I don't know. You know, I'm sure there's some inconsistencies with it. But no,
what's weird is it would be weird to meet him. Well, not just to meet him like, hey, nice to meet you, but to actually know him, I guess. Yeah. Because then you see what someone's. There's been people that I've kind of known that were whatever, sort of semi-famous or whatever the word is.
Sure.
And in reality, like on TV, they seem like they're not cool people. Yeah. But in regular life, they're really cool. Yeah. And then the opposite, I've also seen where someone seems super cool.
Yeah.
When you see their persona, and then in real life, they're not cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that'd be pretty common to kind of be inconsistent in that way, or have it be inconsistent as far as your experience with that person. Seems like that'd be kind of common. right? Because a lot of people, if they're famous or if they're, famous, popular, whatever, a lot of times you kind of got to turn it on for the camera, right? Especially because you're essentially a performer in one way or another, whether it be actor or whoever, even like businessmen, like it's weird. And it's not even necessarily a bad thing. It's more like, for lack of a better term, a required thing, so like my brother, for example, like if I know him, but then when I hear him talking to like, I don't know, executives or something, or like every once in a while I'll see him on like an interview or something, and I'm like only because I know him. I know him so good, so it's like I see the difference.
What I just thought of is Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So I actually met Joe Rogan a long time ago when I was just one of Dean's cornermen, right? Yeah. You know how Joe Rogan treated me back then?
How?
Super cool. like just cool, just the same. Yeah. And then when I was up on his podcast, the same, same dude. That's a good dude right there. You know what I mean?
Agree. And strangely enough, I had the exact same experience. And this will kind of demonstrate how legitimate it is, right? So same exact situation. I met Joe Rogan for the first time with Dean and my wife. We went to, we kind of knew Red Band through. It's a long story. So we went to one of his shows. We got to go to one of his shows and go talk to him afterwards, right? So that's the first day I met him. Same thing. Super nice. Gave me his email.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'm just some dude.
Echo Charles.
He's like, yeah. Well,
email me sometime.
Cool. Yeah. And then, so the next time I see him was when I went to Legends to train. When I was going to LA for filming, and then so I train at Legends. And so I go there and he's there. He's rolling with everyone and everything. It's like he's known there or whatever. Like just another person there as far as training goes. And then so he's kind of cruising on the side. So I was like, I'm going to go ask him to roll. So I was like, hey, what's up? Yeah, I met you with Dean long time ago, a few years ago, whatever. He was like, yeah, that must have been a lot. Like, he totally didn't remember me, It's not like, I remember you, so now I'm going to be cool to you. It was like, he totally didn't remember me. I was probably one of many people, and he was still just as cool. So he starts talking about UFC. You know how like you go, hey, small talk before you guys roll. And then, so it's small talk, and he starts talking about current UFC stuff. We didn't even roll. I just wanted to listen to him talk about UFC, and so we didn't roll. But same thing, same exact thing. Yeah. And even when I went up to film with him for the Metamore stuff or Eddie Bravo stuff, same thing. He like forgot about me again. That was like years ago, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that must have been a long time ago." Same exact thing. I was like, "Yeah, well, that was a long time ago."
I actually respect the fact that it doesn't go, "Oh yeah, I remember you."
Yeah, fully.
Yeah, he doesn't play that game.
Yeah,
like, no, I actually met 80 million people last year, and I don't really remember you, but it's good to hang out with you right now again.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess.
Exactly. And this, I mean, of course, Joe Rogan is like this. And if people are like this in general, that is, just like I said, that's kind of like not a litmus test, but kind of like it's this indicator, He didn't remember me. So really, since he didn't remember me, for all intents and purposes, I was just another person. And same exact treatment. Just cool. Just normal. Oh, yeah. It wasn't like, I'm me and you're you, and there's this separation kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was none of that.
Yeah, no. It's a good way to be.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we ended up talking about that one.
You dropped Joe Rogan's name, and we started talking about it. So,
Good point.
Name dropper.